We back after things in that nature. I drinks refreshed. My shit's tightened up. How you feel with how you feel?
I'm feeling good.
What you pouring up again, by the way?
The Suntory Japanese whiskey. I'm thoroughly enjoying the mellow vibes.
Yikes.
What? You still on the Japanese?
Yeah, and like they still did us.
They haven't been our enemy since World War II.
Nah, I still don't trust. I still like, you can't trust. Don't trust.
So what you thinking here? There's some bullshit.
I think they infiltrate. Hey, that's the Trojan horse.
Oh, this inside of me?
That's the Trojan horse.
If I start acting different next week, you know what it is.
Your eyes looking a little lower and slanted.
Oh shit!
Like, well, I don't know what's going on you right now.
It's lower and slanted is super racist.
I don't know, dog. Like, I don't know. Like, don't hit me with no Chinese story. Your choice of weapon.
But I'm
hey, quick. If you had a choice right now,
Chinese, right?
It's Chinese.
Hey,
I do want to be a ninja though.
Oh shit! It's working. It's working.
Wait, go ahead.
What the fuck?
Have you ever seen that movie Kung Fu Panda?
Oh shit! I see what you're doing, Clyde. I see what you're doing.
I have
one of the funniest movies I've seen in a long ass time. Kung Fu Panda had me in tears in the movie theater.
What you like the best about Kung Fu Panda?
Kung Fu Panda,
it starred you.
Shout out to Fat Lee, but he was a healthy guy, and he was very athletic. It reminded me of myself. Yeah,
you athletic?
Kind of nigga that like to eat and to kick your fucking ass. Yeah, yeah.
Why are you so aggressive? Calm down.
Because it's the Japanese.
Calm down, Japan, man.
Japan, man.
Dang, last time a Japanese got this hype, he flew planes over shit.
Wow.
Damn, calm down.
Wow.
That's a bar.
Calm the hell down.
That's a bar. All right, let's move on. Kung Fu Panda.
I would like to, if I can, like, I would like to.
I'm ready.
Relax, Bruce Lee.
These are all Chinese people.
No, hey, I was watching. Hey, listen, I want to ask you though, because I watched a great documentary. I don't know if I call it a documentary. It wasn't a documentary. It was just like a
docuseries. No, that's still
it
documentary.
wasn't even a series. It was just like a movie loosely based off of you know Roxanne
yeah.
Roxanne Shante.
Roxanne.
All right, you got Netflix?
I do.
You got Fire Stick?
I don't. But what do I need? What do I want?
You want to watch off Netflix? I'll just ask you if you had a
Fire Stick. No, I had a Fire Stick, but I pay for services, so.
All right.
It had nothing to do with that.
So it's Roxanne shit, dog. She has a great show or a movie on Netflix. Mm-hmm. Like, it took me all the way back to hip hop, and I fell in love with it all over again. Her story, just to watch it and understand, because first though, when she was popping, she started popping in '85. I think I was born in '84. So did I really get the experience of real Roxanne? No, when I even became what's a good word? Cognizant?
Yeah, cognizant.
There we go. Cognizant.
Is this one Roxanne?
No, I wear glasses. That's far. You held that shit mad far away. Yeah, that's her. And so when I finally even became aware of her, first off, when I fell in love with hip hop, the wave for me had already passed. You know what I'm saying? When I started to become like, all right, cool, hip hop, cool and shit.
Done and done. We didn't get into hip hop strong until 94, 95.
Yeah. Talking Big Pac era, like Hove came
10 years after she was out of here.
So I had got to do my research on when people was popping and when they weren't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this your Hoops classic.
Right. So her story is just phenomenal. I don't know how much you know about her in general. And I'm sure you know.
I know a great deal because my dad lived through that shit, and my dad talks about her.
Older heads put us on.
Yeah.
One of the best parts of this that did it for me was the fact she is from Queens. Okay, she has a scene after she had made it big, and she was on her way to tour. You know, a kid that depicted Nas. And I was looking like, damn, like this kid kind of looked like Nas with a little mold on the cheek.
Yeah.
He approached her, he was like begging to rap for her. You know what I'm saying? As she's on her way, about to get in her little van and go tour. She's like, look, I don't got time for this shit, kid. She's like, all right, go ahead, rap. Just rap right now. You know what I'm saying? And Nas, he kind of drew a blank. He couldn't get his bars out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
How old do you think he was?
I don't know, like maybe 12, maybe. Something like that. Just a young Nas. So she says to him, she's like, you know what? I don't got time for this right now. Next time I see you, you better have your rhymes ready or I'm going to fuck you up.
Damn.
This is what she says to him.
That's crazy.
And she's coming, and Roxanne is coming, like, just a little backtrack a little bit. Her background is her battling dudes in Queens. Like, she would go to battles, like, at like 8, 9 years old, battling.
For those who don't know, that was hip-hop back then.
Right. And
show up with your rhymes and be ready.
And she was just destroying grown, like, men. You know what I'm saying? Like, with these rhymes and whatnot. She was popping at 13. She was on the radio when she first recorded her first record. With Marley Marl. Like that's what was the first one. She got called upstairs to record a quick little record as she was on her way to do laundry for her mother.
That's nuts.
And she came upstairs. She didn't even listen to the album. She didn't even listen to. She took it.
Yeah.
One take.
Like they pressed play and she went.
She did a thing, left,
Alright.
and she was on the radio like with whatever time frame that was.
Could you do it?
No, I'm not Roxanne.
But like, could
She
you
was
do it right
different.
now?
Nah, I want her. I want her to have her own shit. I don't
I
know.
was
No,
fucking
I can't do it. I can't fuck Roxanne.
You never once took nothing anyway.
But the fact that she got on the radio with that record was just
With the
insane.
level of like as a child to be able to just step in and deliver. That's great.
But to fast forward back again, what really took my shit with the Nas shit, the fact that she ran into Nas within her same project building area.
Second greatest rapper alive.
Yeah, arguably sure. And so what happens is she happens to run into Nas a year later. She's like, "You got a rap." He didn't have a rap name at the time, so she run into him. She's like, "Oh, kid, I remember you." Blah blah. He came outside, and she was like, "You got a rap name?" He's like,
This
yeah.
shit sound dope as gripping as fuck. Like I'm locked in
He's
right
like,
now. Yeah.
He's like, "You got a rap name?" He's like, "Yeah." Like, all right, what's your name? He's like, "Yeah, they call me Nas," because his name. Real
Yeah, his
name
name's Nasir, yeah.
So he's like, "Yeah, they call me Nas." And she was like, "All right, remember what I told you when the last time I seen, which was a year ago."
Yeah.
Told him, "I'll fuck you." Then he just like in the middle, he just start
Just
rapping.
went in on her ass.
Not the battle. He just gave her
Yeah,
the
but
rhyme.
just giving her tough shit.
And not even just that, she called her mother over before he started rhyming. She was like, "Hey, mom, come over here. This kid, like, he thinks
Her mom is her manager.
No, she's not. Nowhere near. Not
Really?
even
What was her
close
mom
to
there? Just
her mother ended up. You gotta watch it. Though.
Yeah.
Her,
Yeah, don't give it away.
yeah.
her mother became like an alcoholic over some shit that some man did, some fucked up shit to her. It was wild.
That's
You gotta
crazy.
watch it. Though.
I'm gonna watch
it. Story. Anyway, she called her mom over there because her mom was outside, and Nas just went the fuck in. And the fact that he went in, like I was just like, I really.
They showed
fell
the
in love.
scene?
Yeah, the whole
Yeah,
scene.
that's tough, man.
I fell in love with hip hop all over again. I paused it. I was like, no way is this scene real. No way did Nas confirm any of this shit. I paused it.
Searched it.
I did, and then Nas, I found the Nas clip. Nas confirmed all of that shit
Hey, he probably
down
was
to the
consulted.
T, to the point that he got dissed. That he was choking at first. He didn't even have a rap
Yeah.
name. Ran to her a year later in the same project downstairs.
Yeah.
He said what Nas told her. What line was it? He was like, "Hey, I'm older now. I'm ready now." And he just dropped this shit. I was
Yeah.
like, "Let's go."
Yeah.
From the point of her getting fucked over by Marley Marl, which
Marl.
I would love to see a documentary from his standpoint. When he said, "I'm not going to DJ for you for this show," and guess who so happened to be there for her, which was Biz Marquee.
Whoa.
And Biz was like, Biz told her, "You know what? We could do it. I'll just beatbox the whole show. I'll just beatbox your set." And she said, "You're gonna beatbox the whole entire show?"
I believe it.
And he said, "Yeah."
He did that shit.
And then again, I paused it, and that part's documented. I looked that shit up in that exact show, the exact time frame. Biz beatboxed that whole shit for her, and this shit was phenomenal. And then keep in mind, she's still at this point only 14, 15, maybe 16 years old.
Nuts. It's absolutely
Doing
nuts.
this show with Biz Marquee beatboxing for her, starting the shit, finishing the shit, the whole show.
And we
Shit
know
was-
Biz. We know Biz is a legend. And for the, I don't know
feel
how
like-
you a hip hop fan and you don't know
I
Roxanne.
fell in
Roxanne.
love all over again with this hip hop shit, though.
Yeah.
I swear, I did. It was so phenomenal.
So when we battling,
Nigga, I'm
not
ready
each
to
other.
date.
Like, yeah, you ready?
I'm ready to date.
I'm ready to hype man.
Like, I'm just, dog, it just really made it so phenomenal for me. And I was like, dog, I love fucking hip hop. And I just wish it was back to that essence versus
Today?
this one. Back, because it was
It's too
so-
much money to be made now. I
And-
wish
and
it
the
was
problem is
core, authentic. Yeah, I feel you.
The problem is too much money because people realize it's too much money. People realize there's money in it.
Yeah.
Roxanne, sure, she wanted to take her family out of the situation they was in, but hip hop wasn't.
That's
born
just what she was
yet.
doing.
It
Yeah.
wasn't born just
Yeah.
yet. The fact that her little homegirl was walking around screaming the champ is here
Mm-hmm.
before she really wasn't even a champ.
I can identify with that.
This shit was.
I
fire.
identify with that heavily. Remember my rap name.
See, I think the only thing that makes it different nowadays is the fact that people are looking to just get that quick
People-
sell. to
It's
make
been
money.
monetized.
People
Yeah.
are not genuine these days. Where we're at.
Well,
I mean,
here-
I give you a perfect example.
I was.
is-
Go ahead.
Go ahead, do your thing.
Well, I was just gonna say, here's the thing: take then versus now. Then it was just about your pride and your skill and your ability and you putting on for what you know you could do with your mouth, your talent, right?
What is it now?
Now it's about how can I get on? Can I get a quick hit single? Can I make a TikTok trend? And the shit's been so heavily monetized. It's kind of like the argument between why people like pro basketball versus college basketball. Back then, it was just about you standing on your own too. Nas didn't know that he was gonna be Nas when he came back to spit the shit for her. he know he was challenged, and now he was ready, and that's all that meant to him. And whatever it grew to, it didn't mean an immediate buck. These kids know right now. Remember Lil Bow Wow? Like, there's tons of kids who made millions of dollars off this shit, and that's the difference. It's a stark.
I understand what you're trying to say, but not I don't want to derail the combo. Bow was a bad mention because he even got like kind of catered, like made into it from coming up under Snoop. He's a kid. He's like 5 years old, jumping on the couch with Snoop and Snoop video. Like he kind of like, look, we can make money off this kid.
Bow Wow
I would like to say.
Well, I only said that for this exact reason. Because things are so heavily monetized, we get a lot of inauthentic.
And that was after Chris Cross even.
Yeah. There's a lot of versions of that. I only mentioned Bow Wow because he popped in my head.
Now is literally a 6ix9ine.
Yeah.
I'm going to get these tattoos. I'm going to claim blood set.
6ix9ine is a
I'm
great
going
mention.
to do all these things because I know it's going to make me rich and famous. Whereas Nas at this time
had no clue.
And he ran down. No, I'm sorry, he didn't run down. Let me take it back. He was just walking out of the project. She was like, "Oh, I remember you. I told you I'm gonna fuck you up if you ain't had your rhymes ready. Like, what you got?" She's like, "You got a name?" Yeah, Nas. She called her mom over in the midst of her talking to her mom. He breaks into his raps.
But you don't think Nas was obviously Nas wasn't trying to be Nas. 'Cause I don't think he realized that rap, like what does Biggie say? He never thought that hip hop could take it this far, and I don't think anybody did back then. But
Keep in mind, you mentioned Biggie, Nas. They literally around the same age. So we talking about a 13, 14-year-old Nas and also a 13, 14-year-old Biggie. Still.
But like I'm saying, like they didn't necessarily think that they were going to make this much money off of it.
Definitely, there's no way they would have known.
But they knew that it was going to be something. I guess I still try.
I don't know that.
These kids the kids that are actually popping right now. I mean, name some people. I can't name them. Y'all name them. They didn't necessarily come from the best situations. So y'all are saying they're not out there trying to master their skills. They're trying to master their skills for the purpose of making money.
Today,
I said the opposite.
One record today.
I said the opposite.
We can literally come up with a record right now.
Yeah.
And blow up right now some real corny shit even.
It could be called like Mike Sweating in the studio.
And we can never have to work again off of one record today.
So you're saying it's the industry,
but
not the rappers.
knowing that the problem is we know that right now. Back then,
there was no knowledge.
Nas right before Roxanne
was
or
just
Roxanne Shantae. This wasn't recorded. We don't have a cell phone.
It was a convo between him and her. It was a moment between him and her.
It was just them. There was no document of this other than it happened the way it happened. I was like, no way did this happen. I went to search and I was like, it happened that way. So even if Nas lied, the point of it is I gotta take his word because I can't prove it. Like I'm not trying to improve it being false.
By the
I
time
just believe it.
By the time we got to 93, 94, NWA, then people knew that there was money in this shit because they was able to take it and run with it. Before that, a lot like think about all the times Jay rapped at niggas before he became Jay, before they even had the Rockefeller deal. Stories that he referenced where he go, yeah, I remember being on my block doing my thing and getting a call from Dame like, yo, come up here, these niggas is rapping, and I would show up and I would kill niggas. Where's the footage? There's nothing from it. There's no money. There was no tickets sold. There was nothing.
How has that fact affected how? Because the music, because that rap style, that Nas rap style, that Roxanne rap style is very different from the rap style right now.
Well,
how has that affected that?
Styles change over time, but what we were talking about was simply you couldn't get an impromptu gathering like that now because people would be like, well, how much money are we making off this shit?
So Steve, what you were saying is not necessarily that you missed the style of rap. You just missed
the authentic,
hunger, the vibe.
I miss for loosely based, yes. I missed all of that. The fact that Nas in this video not ran down,
but
they ran into each
ran
other
into
on this, and she was like, I told you I'm gonna fuck you up if you're not ready. Like, let me hear what you got. And he was ready.
Mm-hmm.
The difference is it was passion because that's not recorded. People do things all the time for clout because they know it's recorded.
Exactly.
They
and 6ix9ine is a great example.
They know the camera's on. How many times have you seen people give to the homeless as they're recording themselves giving to the homeless?
Yeah.
How many times have you done things without acknowledgement? Me personally, I've done so many things for the greater because I believe in karma and that's a big thing. I've done so many things that I don't even talk about, never will talk about, and not even document it. I'm just karma just going to take care of it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what I honestly believe. So to spin it back, this is clearly Nas' passion. Like he rapped that shit not knowing. He's a kid too. He did what he did for Roxanne Shantae at the time, not knowing he would be loved by the world, if you will, if you consider love, whatever you want, not knowing he would eventually be the guy. known U.S. wide.
It puts hip hop in a unique space too, because you like remember they referenced Jordan like shooting free throws all summer because he got cut from the team or whatever. Right. Kobe and a lot of people have these kinds of stories. You know you can make money in basketball. There was a Magic before you. There was a Dr. J. There was references in hip hop. Nas at this age was at the forefront of the whole shit.
Hip hop was just born.
85. There was 3 years beyond the rapper's delight. Rapper's delight. Hip hop, like come on, bro. You know nobody was thinking this is gonna lead to a career and some shit. Yeah, it just was what it was, and that's the difference with hip hop. Yeah, hip hop is our culture. It's every day. I'm hip hop every day, even if I'm just sitting in my house by myself. When I'm freestyling in my car by myself and no one's around, I live this shit, and a lot of us do. It ain't just for the music or for the money.
I personally feel like the passion, the desire, the fire showed in classic rap, and nowadays it's not.
It's hard to find. It's few and far between.
Because the things that they're even talking about is just so like. I mean, like you got a lot of young rappers now are rapping about taking drugs, like doing drugs. Yeah. Before it was selling drugs. You know. Now
you may even have people feeding into certain aspects of this shit that may not even be real on the shit. We would just talk about Future before the recording, and when dude come out and say, "Yeah, I don't even partake in a lot of that shit. I just talk about it." You go. What?
I will say, just like the content may have switched because first off, drug usage and selling has always been a part of the game. Yeah. Example, Shantae. Example.
Different types of drugs.
Example. I'm talking about cocaine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Example. In Roxanne Shantae's documentary, whatever you want to call it, the guy she chose to be with was a big known drug dealer. This nigga was literally snorting cane. Not just him, the dude she moved in with after she left her mom's house, snorting cocaine. Like this is certain things we may not have rapped about snorting, but niggas been snorting.
Right.
Yeah.
Dog, there's nothing. The thing about like, there's nothing new.
I think that's a different point though.
I don't
all I was saying was this: there are people who don't do certain things that will say they do them in the music to bolster the music. For Future to act like he
did say he doesn't drug partake, etc., or something of that nature.
For him to not do that and be the #1 drug usage rapper, isn't weird to you?
It's very weird to me, but Future is definitely my favorite. He's my favorite addict. He's my favorite addict rapper.
Is he an addict?
Future could say he don't use. I believe he use.
Whatever the case, maybe Future was a bad example.
Future could say what he want to say, but bro, I see enough interviews of you. You're under some type of substance, even if it's just weed. But for you to try to be like, "Oh no, I'm clean," you're not clean.
But even if it's just in that moment, let's circle back to your boy 6ix9ine.
Okay,
there are people who will live an image to backstop the music they make, rather than making music about their real life.
Of course,
I'm gonna be a thug. I'm gonna be a gangster. I'm gonna do this wild shit because it makes my music better. It makes their music inauthentic to us. Mm-hmm. Whereas you have other people who really live the shit. If Roxanne really lived with some cokeheads and she put that in her rhymes, that's real. I believe T.I. was really in the trap. I believe there's a few people who really told these stories. I know 50 got shot. I know Jay-Z lost 92 bricks. I don't know that. I may know that. I don't know if that's 100% true, but all I'm saying is there's a difference between the people who lived something and talked about it and then the other people who I can make some money off of acting like it. And there's two different people. I'm not saying Future is or isn't. I believe based off of his word that he doesn't do all the things he says he does. And that to me makes his music a little less potent is all I'm saying.
Well, to me. But you also you are you a Future fan? Anyway?
I like Future. I'm not a Future fan, but even
so making
who is somebody I'm a fan of? I don't believe Eminem killed everybody he said he killed.
Of course M didn't kill. He's not a killer. Of course. That's so far-fetched versus the drug user.
But Eminem's intentional thing is to be grandiose and hyperbole.
Shout out.
But there are rappers who try to rap. Like, imagine if you found out right now T.I. never sold nothing in the trap. Wouldn't it be a bit, like, weird? And also, in this era, is it not totally possible?
In this era, sure. At that time, no. At that time, it doesn't make sense. Like, but it sounded good regardless. At the end of the day, like, T.I. made it sound good. I believe T.I. Do Eminem really kill people? No, of course not. Like, why? If he killed people, he be in jail.
But Steve, isn't that the point? That when Nas rapped at Roxanne Shantae, whatever he talked about and whatever he did in that moment never got recorded. It was just authentic, pure passion. Whereas now people know I can be grand, I can be hyperbolic and make money off the shit.
I think I literally gave gave that point with 6ix9ine. Like you're like
I was saying the same thing you said. You came at me like you disagreed. You said I think the thing got switched. I said no. We're talking about the same thing. We're just talking about the real passion of really rapping because it's our culture versus people knowing we can make money off of it. Kind of dilutes the game. When people are being inauthentic.
Yes and no.
When they're being
because not everyone that has a true story can always present it or can always represent it as they can present it as well as someone else who did not really do that style.
Like Plies?
No, like a Drake. When back to ghostwriting,
Mm-hmm.
I have a story. I can't
I see
present
what
it
you're
the
saying.
same
Yeah,
way. So I need a talented artist who can paint this picture better for me.
Well, yeah, that applies
Here's
to
my
Plies, right?
story.
Allegedly, the allegation is that Plies was a college boy and he's telling his brother's story.
He has been in college and he did. But Plies is also on Salute the Tax has came out and said like, yeah, been in college and it wasn't for him. He used to get money in the streets and he is. Plies said he's in the street.
I didn't know that, but I thought the general take on Plies was that he was telling someone else's story.
His own story along with his brothers as well, but like,
And they said the same about Clips too, that they was telling other people's stories.
man,
That could be a rumor though, because they too graphic with this shit.
is it?
Here's the question, Steve: does it dilute the game
No,
when people are not telling their own stories?
no. I don't think it dilutes the game. I think it dilutes the game when we give too much praise to people who really to 6ix9ers who has nothing to do
Confirm fake shit.
with like
Name
it's,
who else? Because you guys use 6ix9ine. Who else?
okay. Let me
Real
think.
quick. Who else?
Well, Bow Wow never had
I'm
that
just
jet.
curious. Who else?
He didn't have that jet.
Nah, like I'm trying like realistically. All right, away from after 6ix9ine.
It's tough because it really ain't that
I
publicized.
could probably think of something, but right now on the spot, who else other than a 6ix9ine
Right.
who flat out did not live their rhymes?
Milli Vanilli?
That was not a rapper. I guess they were a little bit.
No. Vanilla Ice.
I mean, but who's to know? Because
That's
Jay-Z
different.
also told Nas. He say
Right.
he told Nas I heard the way he say you witnessed it from your folks past,
Scribbled in your notepad,
created your life.
Right.
I showed you your first tech on the dresser. Like, and honestly, according to looking from the story, where Nas came a year later to meet, like Nas might have been sheltered, so where he may not have been outside like that. So Nas could have been looking from his project window. Real quick, look.
Go ahead.
Nas could have been looking from his project window, writing in his notepad, seeing things he's seen that he didn't really involve. He might have seen people dealing drugs. Oh shit. Okay, cool. I'm drug dealing, whatever the case is.
Yeah, he's just
niggas on the block.
storytelling what he saw.
But that's literally his life just told different. Like he can nothing wrong with telling a story that you even seen.
Right.
You know who's a master? You know who's a master of that?
No.
Magalupe.
Okay.
Almost exclusively, and as a diehard student of his discography, I could probably find 4 songs that apply to his real life, his personal life. Everything else is shit he saw. He talks from the third person often.
And I don't think
But that had nothing to do with your point. I just
I
want
don't
to say
think
that.
anything is wrong with that, but at that time when Hov said that shit, I was riding Hov so much that
Oh, no, I know what my point was. If Lupe did it, Lupe does it strictly saying, this is what I saw. If Nas was saying that he was in some of those antics and he wasn't, does that change your point of view on him?
no, I mean, like I don't personally don't care. Like, dog, if you got these stories where they true or not, Nas, even though he's not my favorite rapper, I still respect him as a good
top
rapper.
tier, yeah.
Like it is what it is. He's a great storyteller, regardless of the matter.
One of the best.
Regardless of the matter, I refuse to believe like maybe he loosely even done so. Hell, the first time I ever carried anything was from my baby mother brother. The first time I ever had anything, like literally that was that.
And I had cousins,
So I could have
cousins
wrote.
currently in jail, all in the game based on shit like that. And
Wait, what?
I had cousins that.
Oh, you said you had cousins. Yeah, so
I think a lot of rappers. You
so the first time I ever did anything crazy like that, like, it wasn't even. I can stretch the truth, but the fact of it is, I walked from that building for a favor to this building for a favor, and I got hit with a very little something. There was no cops. There was no big something that could have happened.
Yeah.
But yet, let alone if I wanted to write about it, like, hey, I carried it.
Yeah,
I
you
did
made moves. You
carry
made
it.
moves.
I did carry it.
We used to do shit like all the early Carver City. This is before your time, Guru. Early Carver City had a lot of dealers. There's a lot of gang shit going on out there.
Damn, I
And-
can't think who said shit, but salute to whatever rapper, whatever. Damn, I don't even want to give them credit because I don't know who said it, but salute to whoever said I bought my first key from my baby mother, brother. Salute to that. I want to say,
was this a your bar? Was this one of
no,
yours?
it wasn't
okay.
like-
I thought
Let
you
me ask you though, because you can literally.
it was. I was gonna say UGK. Yeah, salute,
okay.
salute.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
so because that's literally was my shit. Got my, but yeah, I did my thing.
But before you go, Claude, I was gonna say in the hood they used to send us on the run, like, hey, go take this over there, or yo, here go X amount of dollars, go to the store and get me, like, we would get the snacks and shit for the hustlers or whatever, because they didn't want to move off the spot. Hey, here's 50. Go get all y'all some candy or some shit and bring me back this. And we just make the little transaction. We talking about little niggas like 8, 9, 10.
So,
and as you get older, that turns into whatever it turns into. I don't want to say because you get the gist, right?
I think you can have like a hood reporter, like somebody who's rapping on the shits things that went around them, or things that they may have loosely been involved in, or things that happened around them. And you could have like a hood storyteller when they're literally just telling stories that are loosely based on other people's shit. You know what I'm saying?
I don't mind it either way.
You have to have a firsthand account from stuff, because at the end of the day, you were still living in that environment.
Yeah,
you still have experience.
You still was around.
My where I tend to get a little bit not mad, because and then if it sounds good, it sounds good, is when you have people that don't have those experiences at all,
Just acting like they had it.
acting like, and it's just, you know what I'm saying. So because like even go far back as a Dre wasn't into no rough shit really. You know, he was a kid with a pen and a pad, you know, working at a damn disco or skating ring, DJing. You know, same thing with Cube. These were young dudes that lived in a rough area who experienced this, not necessarily having direct involvement, knowing dudes who did it, and they wrote on their experiences and their outward feelings, and they kind of manifested it into something that was the NWA. So you don't necessarily have to be directly involved in stuff like that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But when you have people who are literally not from that at all,
yeah, you ain't even from. You lived in the suburbs.
Right.
You ain't even of this ilk. And here you are talking about stories you heard or whatever the fuck. Doubling back real quick. I'm going to watch the shit, Steve. Roxanne.
He probably thought he was just protecting himself when he posted some shit he thought was dope. I don't think people are looking to kill. You just find some shit so you go in. It wasn't even him. Like,
You say, but Steve, if you can't walk up a fucking set of stairs, you're not running a whole basketball game. It's alone, my dude. It's alone. It's alone. What don't you understand about that? Have you ever seen? Wait, you can laugh all you want. You can laugh
if you
face.
don't know blackface is wrong, then that's that. All right, nigga, we done with you. You said what you said. Who the fuck is y'all niggas? And who the fuck is y'all niggas? And the white people.
First off-
no, let me get off.
all right, so like we said before, he made it.
Am I bugging?
But why are you right and I'm wrong?
All right, let's roll it back.
Why am I right and you wrong?
Don't backstab your man.
Wait.
It'll be all right.
Where's the backstab?
He walks out. He's done with you.
You
It's over.
niggas is really wild with
It's
some
over.
of your takes.